Hey, Chadi Bazzi here, and welcome to another episode of the Top Listing Agent Show. Today, I am super excited about this interview because for a couple of reasons. Number one, I haven't done an interview in a while because I've been, broadcasting training material to all our audience on a weekly basis. And number two is today's topic is not a typical topic, but a topic that is absolutely needed to address. And being the owner of Top Listing Agent, where I teach people how to become top listing agents, this is something that is going to help you set yourself apart when you are competing with other agents and help you win more listings and help you create raving fans because you are going to be creating results for your sellers that your competition cannot. And I brought the expert of experts on this topic, and that is Micah. So Micah, thank you very much for joining us today.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. I really look forward to this.
This is awesome. So, Micah, introduce yourself to our audience. We get about 25,000 downloads on a monthly basis. So, I don't know who's heard of you, who hasn't heard of you. So, tell the world about how amazing you are and what you do.
Well, thank you. Well, I am a master occupied stager. I focus on occupied listings. And what I discovered, I started my business when I was a single mom. And, at the heartbeat of what I do, it really is to help realtors sell their listings. And when I first started, like I told you earlier, we used our own furniture, the kids and I, and we really just blew up because the way I view staging is a little bit different than most stagers. Out there in the world of staging and design, it leaves a lot of opinions, and a lot of people have their personalities and their different styles. And what I really try to focus on is symmetry and balance. So often you can walk into a home and you may not like the couch, but if it is proportioned and placed correctly in the space, everybody subconsciously will respond to that in a positive way. And so, there's some fundamental principles that I really like to teach realtors that kind of frees their mind up from being so focused on what type of things are placed in a home. And I had some tremendous results in working with realtors with listings that were on the market for months, even and over a year. I would go in and make a few fundamental shifts, even as far as hanging pictures just a little bit lower. Is just mind-blowing to me how many pictures are hung too high, which creates an imbalance. But I would go in and just make some shifts to bring overall balance and symmetry to a space, and these houses would sell. It even blew my own mind. And so, my husband is a business coach, and when he saw that realtors were waiting to put their listings up on the market for me before I went in, he said, I've got to come see what you do. And we both kind of discovered together that I was saying the same thing. This is key. I was saying the same thing in every single house, no matter the size or the value. And he said, Micah, we've got to put this into something, because I really think there is a liberating experience you can have when you look at a house from this perspective. Just like those cookie cut builders, they make a lot more money building houses that way, right? Not those custom builds, to be really honest. And for a realtor, they can look at a house almost through the lens of exactly the same and have a system and a process, no matter the size, the style, or the value. That is freeing. And that's what I am here to teach people.
Well, that is so awesome. So basically, in essence, what you are doing is you're helping the agents learn how to better position the property for marketing. How to
Yes.
better position the property to get more showings,
Correct.
how to better position the property to get more offers, and how to better position their listing presentation to get more sellers to say, I'd rather work with you because you're speaking about things that nobody else is speaking about.
Exactly. And, we are a tool, not only for the realtor, but, how many listing agents out there have a gift to give their client at signing? There's not very many, but my digital program, that's what I am. I am the gift not only that helps with, streamlining the whole process, but you know, it can remove them from the back and forth, sending the pictures back and forth, all of the time that you spend trying to get a house ready for the market, right? It can take a lot of time. You guys work your tails off, but my system is a gift that realtors give their clients, and I walk the sellers through how to get their own house market ready.
Okay. So how do you do that? Like you walk the sellers, like you walk them through like a digital program. Is it something that they give to the sellers or give access to the sellers?
Correct. So basically, it is just a little, they can send it through text or email. The client then would log in and they watch my videos. I filmed this at a luxury home that I had the privilege to design. So it feels like an HGTV experience, and everybody loves HGTV, right? And I walk them through a living room, a kitchen, bathrooms, bedrooms, and I basically talk to them about the fundamental principles of getting a house balanced and symmetrical. Then I also have a video where we talk about, you know, the basic things, what to do with all the kids' toys, what to do with pets, all of these kind of blaring questions that you really need to get right to get a house sold. And there's lists and then graphics, which I think are really powerful as well. You know, I think we overcomplicate the listing process. And there really is a very simple and easy way to look at a house and treat them as exactly the same. You know, I think we give sometimes clients too many choices. I'll give you one example. I say no small rugs in bathrooms or kitchens at all, period. They all need to go.
I'm thinking mine out.
Well, here's a couple of reasons why. It's a liability to leave them if someone trips on them. Two, usually they're not very pretty, but more than anything, they create a visual imbalance in a space. When you see a picture, because that's the #1 viewing point, right, for realtors, and you look at bathrooms or kitchens and you see those little bright small rugs, where does your eye go? To the rug. Are you selling the rugs?
No.
No. So why would you let that be an emphasis in the pictures? That's just one small example of making it easy. That is a fundamental principle of getting your house market ready. No small rugs.
Okay, see, and Micah, this is the difference that makes the difference. It's these little things that the average mind doesn't think about, okay? And that requires a strategic mind.
Yes.
And you know, and talking about that, look, I think the majority of the people that you know watch these videos and listen to this are people that take more listings than they do work with buyers. So
Mm-hmm.
positioning is everything. Can you give, you know, a top listing agent, you know, 2 more strategies that they could actually apply to get a property in okay, so you're going to give us more than 2 strategies, but 2 strategies just for positioning the property to become more appealing in the eyes of buyers.
Okay, so I'll give you this one. Never use the word declutter.
Okay.
It is my least favorite word in the real estate and staging industry. #1, it's negative. #2, it doesn't really give any directive of what they're supposed to do. And #3, so often when you tell them to declutter, they shove it under couches or in closets, right? And that doesn't help a property sell. So the most powerful word you can communicate to your sellers is that they need to pre-pack.
Pre-pack. Okay, good.
One, it really implies how much stuff needs to go. 2, it gives a point to the staging process. And 3, when it is put away, it's done in an organized fashion. So that is a huge #1 tip that I think changing the way you communicate to them. If you tell them to declutter, it leaves them with like, I don't know what to do. And then they get overwhelmed and then they just don't do it. They become unmotivated, right? But wow, when you already get them in the mindset that the house is going to sell, that you're asking them to pre-pack, that's going to motivate the seller. So that's one piece of information I think would be really powerful, is to change the way that they communicate. 2, there are, in my opinion, 3 main areas that sell a house. The first 10 seconds, the kitchen, and the master. So let's say you're dealing with a client, they're very overwhelmed and they are having a hard time getting a lot done. You can boil it down to those 3 rooms and say, okay, listen, let's get the first 10 seconds, the kitchen and the master perfect. And then we'll see where everything else falls into place. I emphasize that in my videos. And when people start seeing the changes for themselves just in those 3 areas, it motivates them to go beyond. I think, you know, a lot of realtors, I think we all forget how painful and awful it is to move and to put your house up on the market. So I think you have to have strategies to really walk them through so they don't get overwhelmed and then just, you know, don't do anything. You know, also, when you come from the perspective of it being about symmetry and balance and not about personal style or design taste, people don't feel offended and they don't reject what you're asking them to do because they're understanding the premise behind it. I had these sweet little old ladies, I call it florals gone crazy. The house had been on the market for over a year. They had floral curtains, floral couch, floral pillows, floral rug. My husband even joked and said probably floral underwear. I mean, it was out of control, right? Well, I set these sweet ladies down and I just said, listen, we need to bring more balance to the space, and explained why some of the floral stuff needed to go. Not because I thought it was ugly or because potential buyers wouldn't like it. It was because it created an imbalance in the space. There was just too much. So I folded bedding back and just exposed white sheets. We took some curtains down. I just flipped pillows around. And this old lady grandma house, if you will, is sold in 7 days.
Wow.
I brought balance to the space. So it's really empowering when you start looking at a house through that lens, and even the way that you start communicating with your sellers, it liberates them and it makes them see the whole reason of why we need to do it. And they don't take things so personal.
Right. So, Micah, your system does 2 things then. Number 1, okay, it helps the agent take the listing
Correct.
against competition. And number 2, it helps the listing sell a lot faster.
Correct.
Okay. And number 3, let's see, number 3, does it usually result in, you know, more money?
Well, yeah, you know the statistic that staged houses, I like to use the term market ready, but they sell 6 to 25% more. Yeah, I mean, you know, so often you hear people not getting the actual listing price. They always get knocked down. But when a house is looking its best, absolutely you can get more money.
Okay, so you help. So basically, what you do is you help agents, number 1, take more listings, and number 2, getting them ready to, you know, sell faster, and number 3, get them more money. So how do you do that? Tell me a little bit about like your process. Like if there's somebody out there that says, "Hey, I like what Micah is speaking about. I like what she does." Like, you know, I know for some people are maybe visual, they like to see things, etc. And
Sure. You know, I have Instagram, Facebook, and a website, all under Get Your House Market Ready. And, you know, I want to create a culture, not just I'm selling a product. I want to be a part of your team. And, you know, I have worked with hundreds of realtors, and the most successful ones that I saw are ones that had a team of people bringing in experts to give their clients the best, you know, experience, because that's what it's all about. And you know, my husband Sean and I work together on this, and he is the marketing genius behind all of this. I'm the stager brains. But you know, I think that when you shift the mindset, when you cultivate a community and you create different communication that really sets things apart, I think it speaks for itself. You know, I have a realtor. How long has she been a realtor? Uh, the her name left me. Anyway, she's been a realtor for 28 years. And she has been implementing the system for maybe a little over a year. And she absolutely loves it because it frees so much of her time just with getting the house listing going that she can actually feel like be a better realtor to them. And it creates better engagement when she has time with them. You know, I think so often people resist the digital world because they think it's impersonal, when in reality, the way I see it is it can create more quality time because you're implementing some digital resources.
I like that. Okay, so as getting your home market ready.
It's your house. And I use that word strategically, right? Because
Okay.
you go from a home to a house when you're trying to sell it.
Okay. So get your house market ready. Okay.
Yes.
So you're in front of a seller. I'm just like, mindful of like, the listing agent and doing their presentation, etc. When they get to the part where they're talking about staging and marketing and getting your house market ready, etc. Okay, how much time do they spend talking about that with the sellers? And do the sellers usually get it right away?
Do the sellers what?
Do
I
the
had a hard
do the sellers usually get it right away? Like, do they understand it right away, or does that become a bulk of their presentation?
do. Yeah, I'm going to let Sean answer that one if you're all right with that.
Absolutely.
I'll just slide over. I won't take too much time, but the simplicity and beautiful part about this market ready system is this: it does set an agent apart. They utilize this in their marketing on their websites, their social media, because then they share with the world, I have a market ready system I'm going to give you as a gift. It's going to take all of the stress out of getting the house market ready. You don't have to figure out how I get this thing picture perfect. How do I get it ready for the market? So the agent is able to use that with a seller in their marketing before they ever get that presentation. Now, when they sit down with the presentation, they're able to say, if you list with me, because they're having more than one realtor conversation. I'm going to give you the best market ready system in America by the best market ready expert for free. If you list with me, you're going to watch a few videos. She's going to walk you step by step, room by room, showing you exactly what to do. It'll take all the stress out. You know what? It's not going to cost you anything. And here's the cool part. When a house is truly market ready, not designed, not even staged, but the next level is market ready, it sells faster and for more money. It's going to cut down on those maintenance fees. We're going to get it sold. So that's the pitch. They know how to take it from there. The seller gets it. We had an agent the other day that bought the system. She was using it for the first time in a listing presentation. She printed out one of the master trackable lists from the system and a graphic that we provide as a resource on the agent resource page. And she brought that with her to the presentation. When she showed that to the seller and says, this is what it looks like, this is what the list looked like, which you'll track your progress with, the lady was like, oh my God, thank goodness, because I've already been stressing about how to get my home ready. And so she told her, she says, send me the link to the system. The very next morning, the lady jumped on, downloaded everything, started watching the videos, and got back to the agent and just said, that's what sold me. It's the fact that you had a system that would walk me through and I didn't have to stress about it.
And again, I think really emphasizing the simplicity of it. I think for years we've overcomplicated, getting a house ready for the professional photos. And I have really simplified it, like I said, to where even a child could do this. And, so far the feedback has just been overwhelming of one, thank you. And two, it's so simple. Are you sure? So, it's been a really great experience for the realtor and the seller alike.
Well, what do listing agents want? They want something that sets them apart in their market, and they want something that generates referrals, right? So this takes the customer experience up to the next level. The seller enjoys the process a lot more of selling their home because there is no stress in getting it ready based upon the fact that now they have the best market ready expert in America showing them, teaching them how to do it. So all the stress away from the agent, because now they don't have the back and forth, having to mess with what we call unpredictable sellers, because you've been doing this a long time. Every seller is unpredictable. You never know what you're going to get. Well, now you have a system and a process that's consistent that you run these sellers through so that you're getting picture perfect houses. There's nothing worse for a listing agent than to spend money on professional pictures and they get there and the house isn't ready. We fix that for you. And the beauty of it is, if we have time, I'd love to go behind the scenes for 3 or 4 minutes and show them what it looks like. But, you know, we even created 3 follow-up emails so that the seller gets 3 emails from Micah that's motivational in nature to keep them going. We didn't even want the realtor to have to mess with that.
I think you beat me to it. I think a lot of people are visual, and a lot of people. I mean, I want to see what you got going on. So yeah, if you could share the screen with me now.
Yeah, I'll do a screen share.
First, I'll show you briefly, and he'll share a little bit of those. But we have a presentation book also that can be purchased, and in it has every single graphic and master list available. And again, I'll just show you this really simple one: shelf staging. You know, it's my 1, 2, 3 rule, and it's outlined in the videos. And like I said, it's just really simple. I love to share about the system, you know, how it came about, and I want to tell all the realtors how to do it. And his passion is to sell it.
Well, her passion is to get a house truly market ready.
I love it.
Not just staged, but market ready. And that's what I really want everyone to understand, is because she was getting called in. What piqued my curiosity as a coach, I've been doing this 21 years, right? Speaking and coaching people. When she was getting called in on properties that had been previously staged and they still weren't selling, and then she would go in 4 months, 24 hours, you know, 6 weeks, 3 days. The one she told you about had been on the market for 14 months and it sold that fast. That's when I got intrigued and I said, I got to check this out. So for my brain, which is what we love to share with you and the people that listen to you, is we come as a package because she'll help you and the seller understand how to get it market ready. I'm going to help you market the crap out of the thing so that it's going to help you grow your business. So that's what we're excited about. Let me do a quick screen share and show you why we're so excited about this. Now,
while you're doing this, I'm just thinking that, you know, if somebody actually does this, it's going to be a huge confidence builder for them. Going in on a listing presentation, it's going to like take their confidence to the next level because they're speaking about something that's very important that nobody else is speaking about on the listing presentation.
The most stressful aspect, in our opinion, for any agent with a new listing is, how do I get it ready for pictures? How do I get it market ready? For us to take that away from them, and so for them to just turn it over to an expert through a system that brings consistency, and you coach and teach, consistency. The more consistency there is, the more success is created. So that's what we want to bring, is simplicity and consistency.
I want to share just one real quick story while he's going into this. Is, you know, we had a realtor who forwarded it on to a friend who she was helping sell their house, and they had just lost a child. And the realtor just felt like she could not say, those pictures of the child you recently lost need to come down. But to be really honest, it would hinder the sale of the house to keep up all the personal photos. So guess who did? I did. And, you know, too, it really helps liberate the realtors from having to have some of those hard conversations, because when it's an across the board statement from an expert who's saying this is what you need to do, people are more willing to accept that. And it liberated. And so she was just so thankful that she had something to send to her friend and client. And sure enough, all the pictures were down. So it's just one small example of how it frees the realtor up from, you know, the entanglement of getting a house and a listing ready.
We get to say all the things they don't want to.
Yeah.
So
I like that.
Yeah.
Here's the cool part. I wanted to jump in real quick because, you know, when we heard that 87% of realtors transition out after 2 years because they struggle in the business, we wanted to make this very simplistic for them and the seller, as well as very affordable. We'll talk about that later. But so here's a couple of key points. We didn't even want them to have to write the email that they send to the seller. So this is when they sign up for our program, this is the agent resource page that they get to go to and bookmark and go back to. So we even created shortcuts at the very top of that page, how to get to the good stuff. This is a welcome video by Micah. We get into a little bit about the page, but I just want to show real quick. Send to your clients using the email subject and copy that we created for you. It's that simple. They literally click on these links and copy and paste. And that's how simple we've made it for the realtor to send this to their client. The client will get this in an email and they click on this link and it opens up this page that says, hey, you've gotten a free gift from your realtor, and you sign in, and the second they sign in for free, they get sent to the system. The other thing I wanted to show real quick on this resource page.
Yeah, your screen sharing stopped.
Oh, it did? Okay, let me go back. Hate when that happens. Gotta love technology. Our technology works better than that.
Oh my goodness.
But we've created a lot of things for people to download in terms of logos and graphics so that they can share on their own social media that they utilize this. And we'll also be adding more and more resources as this continues to grow out. But like I said, the beauty of this is that we've created the email for them. They can come up here and just click on these links that take them right to the resources, okay? But the program itself, so when the seller logs in, this is what they get, and this is what we're so excited about. So they log in and get a welcome video from Micah, and then they start the program. So the very first thing that they're going to do is download their master list. And these are,
this is interior, exterior, the showings list, everything to clean and possible purchases, plus what possibly needs to be fixed. I've really tried to think of everything because I've done hundreds of consultations, if not now we're in the thousands, but every single list you could think of is here and accessible for them.
it's very simple. All the downloads are PDF. They just click on it, download it really fast, and then I'll enlarge this to show you and your audience how really cool it is. We break down all the areas, and there's little check boxes. So all they have to do is they go through these areas and say, oh, we've done that, we've done that, we've done that. So that's how cool that is.
And what's great, you know, we've all seen consultation lists. There's, in a way, nothing new about that, but these do flow with the videos. And what is new about our system is, one, we've made it super simple, but two, it all goes in a process. And so you can go room by room and not feel overwhelmed doing the whole entire house.
Now we didn't want to just create something fast. We wanted to really put a lot of effort, and we wanted to make sure that we really provided tremendous quality and value add for agents and the seller. So, you know, we spent almost 1.5 years in development, pre-production, production, post-production to really create some powerful stuff, because HGTV has really created a mindset where people expect a certain type of a look. So if it's okay with you, and we're okay on time, I'd love to show you just a couple of minutes of one of the videos. Yeah. So this is the living room. We always know that's the main part, but I will show you kind of the look and feel of it, and we do a recap on every room.
In life, first impressions are everything. And when it comes to your home, that's also the case. I tell all of my clients that the first 10 seconds is the most important moment you have for potential buyers. In most homes, the living room is within that first 10 seconds. That's why the balance of the space needs to be completely on point. In your living room, you want to make sure the furniture placement is symmetrical and balanced for the space. As you can see in this beautiful home, there's just too much furniture. And in the after photo, you'll see that all of the chairs are removed, and we've balanced the whole space by making sure that it's proportional to the fireplace. In this graphic, you can see a few options of furniture placement. There should be roughly 16 inches between the coffee table and furniture pieces. Also, make sure you have a clear walking path of almost 36 inches to walk around and in between your major pieces of furniture. This will help the room feel open and inviting. So don't be afraid to remove furniture when you're staging your home, and go ahead and just put all that stuff in the garage, because that's where it needs to go to make sure that we get buyers hooked into buying your home. Most of my clients have a great deal of anxiety when it comes to shelving or bookcases, but keep it simple and follow my 1, 2, 3 rule.
So as you can see, she walks through really explaining it and using graphics to really help them. And these are the graphics that they will download with the program. I want to fast forward because we do a market ready recap of every room and then the entire house at the end of the system.
To get your living room market ready, furniture placement is essential. Use my furniture placement guide to help you know where to place your furniture, how far apart, and if you even need to remove any. As you can see, in this living room, we removed 3 chairs to bring more balance and symmetry to the space. This is the science of staging. Also, if you have a rug, make sure it's big enough and the main pieces of furniture are either on the rug or touching it as shown in my graphic. When it comes to pillow placement on your couches, an odd number is always best. The pillows must be upright because when they are angled, it can create an imbalance and look messy in photos. Remember, when staging your shelves and bookcases, less is more, and follow my 1, 2, 3 rule. As you can see, on each shelf, we only have 1, 2, or a grouping of 3 items. For your coffee table decor, don't over...
Okay, so I just wanted to show you a little bit of the videos because the cool part about this is, like we said, very high quality.
Definitely. Yeah.
We're matching the graphics with the videos, so when they print those out, they'll know. And so the cool part about this program and how it's designed is, let's say that they came in a day before and watched a little bit. Now they're going to come back in. So they come up to our navigation here and there's little check marks. Oh, okay, we watched these videos and we got a little bit into the dining room, a little bit in the master. So it shows 6 of 11 steps completed. So it really helps them, very simple in terms of keeping track of where they're at in the program. So you can see we hit on living, kitchen, dining, master bath, the kids' room, and then we do an entire recap of all of these rooms and all the tips. And then the graphics, once again, there's 15 total graphics that they utilize with this. And here's the list of all of them. To make it very simple for them to download, we have an entire package on the first link that downloads the entire graphic. But if they just need to come back and replace one, they just hit on that link. And once again, it's a quick PDF. And then this is the one on making a beautiful bed. I think when she created this, it's really been a favorite of a lot of people because a lot of times when you go to master bedroom, it just doesn't look great.
This is awesome. This is awesome.
Yeah, and then the last thing I'll show you is we have bonuses in here as well. We didn't want to spend time filming things like, you know, pets and kids' toys and things like that. So we do a 10-minute bonus interview where she touches on those things. And then we listen to the feedback from agents. Sometimes they come back with some great ideas. Like someone said, we get asked a lot, I need to paint my walls, you know. So we included...
Yeah, click on the best wall colors.
Yeah, door colors, wall colors.
This is a huge question I get from realtors all the time. And as a designer, I really know from light to dark, if you will. They're not too dark, but these are the best colors that I have seen over the last 5 years be used over and over and over again. These are tried and true, great wall colors for any home. So that one has been a big favorite with our realtors because, again, they get asked these questions all the time.
And the last thing I'll throw in there, and then I'll get out here and let you guys continue visiting about the whole thing. But, you know, agents are starting to get really creative. They're using this to go after for sale by owners. They're using this. We had 2 agents from Florida call us up and say, hey, we would love to use this for expireds. Do you think that's a great idea? And I'm like, absolutely. You know, anybody with an expired listing is not going to be happy that their house didn't sell. You go in and go, look, I've got the best market ready system, the best expert. I'm going to give it to you for free if you'll relist with me. Let's get your house sold. And you know what? It's working like crazy. So once again, growing the business, upgrading the customer experience, getting more referrals, and then taking all the stress away from this listing process. And we're just super duper happy to get it out there and help as many agents as we can.
You know,
and that's exactly like, you know, my strategic mind is already like spinning, you know, not
yeah.
like I'm thinking like all about like, how can this get me in front of more sellers, period? Like that's the first thing that got in my mind, because if I can't get in your living room to do a presentation, then I really don't have an opportunity to take the listing. So, you know, Sean's like, you know, Absolutely. Hey, you know, as a for sale by owner, I get that you want to sell your home on your own. And I'm confident that you want to maximize your profits at closing. Can I come by and coach you for free on how to do that? I'm not there to take the listing. I'm there to give value. And what we know is over 80% of for sale by owners never sell on their own. And he or she that gave them the value is he or she that's going to get the first opportunity to take the listing later on.
Yeah.
And the second they take one for sale by owner and they show this and they list with them and it sells fast and for a good price, all of a sudden you got word of mouth referral. All of a sudden you say, boy, I thought I knew, but you know what? Man, this lady showed me through her videos. I had stuff set up wrong and it was all about looking pretty versus balance.
Yeah.
You know, I'll let her explain it, but you know, God created us to respond to balance and symmetry, not decor. And that's what triggers the subconscious of a buyer's mind, and that's what makes this work so well.
Well, and the way I like to say it is, you know, for instance, what's your favorite design style?
Me?
Yeah. What do you like? What's your favorite decor?
I really don't have one. I'm the kind of guy that just delegates that to someone else. So,
Oh, maybe. What's your wife's then? That's always the question I should be asking. But
which is
farmhouse, modern.
I'm more of a modern guy now.
Okay, perfect. Well, and here's the deal. You know, if we try to stage a house to get it ready, having a certain design style in mind, that leads it up for an opinion, right? Because someone's going to have an opinion on that design style, whether they like it or not. And they'll have to get past that design style, if you will, to see if they like the house. And so what I'm trying to liberate realtors and sellers from is I don't care what the style is, because everyone responds, like we're designed to respond positively to a balanced space. If it is the right size of couch and if it's placed correctly in the living room, you will have a positive response. You can't help but not to. Does that make sense? Even if you don't like it.
That makes perfect sense because I get your point. And you know, for example, if I walk into a home and it is, you know, it's modern design, but my brain can't process that, I could immediately say it's not right for me just based on the modern setup of the furniture and the decor and all that good stuff. And what you're saying is let's position it in a way to where it doesn't matter if your style is modern or, you know, contemporary or whatever, you can see it for how you want to see it.
Can I tell you why I came to this epiphany? I live in Oklahoma, which is the heartbeat of Hobby Lobby. Are you familiar with Hobby Lobby?
Of course.
Okay.
I spend hours with my children. They want to buy it. It's like different artists and creatives, and they want to, like, you know, all that crazy stuff they sell in there.
It's an excess of decor galore, right? And so often I would see clients and even realtors say, you know, I'm going to run to Hobby Lobby to put something on the walls or here or there, thinking that somehow that was magically going to sell the property. And I was seeing a lot of money wasted and a lot of time wasted because it was the wrong size, or it was hung wrong, or there was too much of it. And that was my wake up moment to say, you know, why are we spending so much time? Why are we going to Hobby Lobby and buying stuff that isn't helping the property because you think it's going to make it look prettier? It's futile and really wastes a lot of time. I love to work with what the sellers already have, position that stuff correctly. Then the house becomes the highlight, not the stuff. And, you know, we're so often saying, oh, it's all about the house. It's all about the house. But yet when we go in to get the house ready for the market, we make it all about the stuff. And so we've got to pack away quite a bit of that stuff, make sure what is left is strategic and placed correctly. Then the house almost becomes free to sell, because when you walk into that environment, your own mind and soul can't help but enjoy the space because it is symmetrical, it is balanced. You know, when you walk into Target or any other major franchise in America, thousands, if not millions of dollars have been spent on what you're supposed to experience when you walk into these spaces.
Yeah.
There are some fundamental principles that they're following that is luring us all in to buy stuff from them, right? And it's those same fundamental principles I'm trying to give you guys and give your sellers so that these houses will sell faster.
Good. So tell me a little bit about, a little bit more about, like, let's say I'm an right now, and somebody wants to learn a little bit more about, you know, your system and what you have to offer. You know, tell me a little bit about where they can go and learn more about it.
Sure.
Offer, get involved, all that good stuff.
Sure. And right before I do that, the last thing I want to say is every agent has experienced this, where they have the listing or the buyer, and the buyer says, they walk in, they go, oh my gosh, this is an awesome house. Little Jimmy will get that room, little Sally in this room. Baby, don't you love this? And then crickets, because they get out of that moment where the decor was hitting the frontal lobe, and then subconsciously it was out of balance, and they just said, you know, just something fell off. So let's just keep looking. Every agent's experienced that. That's what this shifts. That's why it's so cool. To find out more, very simple. We named it a simple name to go with the simple program, getyourhousemarketready.com. They can go there. My wife has amazing blogs where there's more and more value add that they can learn more about how this works.
Well, and not just how it works, but they can share that. You know, for instance,
Sure.
I had a client who had a little too much blue going on, and it created a visual imbalance. And although it was pretty, it overwhelmed all of the photos. And so I sent her my blog post about too much color can create an imbalance. And so it really can be a weapon or a tool for the realtors to use to help their clients go, oh, okay, now I see what I need to do.
Yeah, and there's some bonuses on there as well. We give away a free master showings list that they can currently use with clients they have. We also, it will be added up this week. It's going to be the top 10 market ready secrets that you and your seller need to know.
Hey, tell them what you really wanted to title that.
Top 10 market ready secrets that
Most stagers don't know. I'm like, we cannot say that. That does not sound kind, but it's true.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, stagers work very hard. They really do. And they have a passion and heart for it, but they don't understand the science behind what she's discovered. And that's why this works so well.
Yeah.
We're not ragging on stagers because
no,
we are one, you know, that we created this to help people. So, and so really just getyourhousemarketready.com. There's information on the market ready system. There is individual pricing and broker pricing. If a broker sees this and goes, holy smokes, I want this for my entire, all my agents, they can do that. And like I said, we're just excited to help people grow their business, to stay in this industry, to have a consistency in that listing process and in their presentations.
Sorry about the alarm. It just...
That's okay. Every time we start talking about this thing, it's so hot, it's setting off your alarm. That's
That is awesome. Well, I think you guys shared a lot of great, you know, insights and perspectives and even strategies that the average real estate agent doesn't think about, that they need to start thinking about, specifically now that we live also in a digital world. And that, you know, anything and everything that you do, you know, to get your house market ready is going to show up online. And we want it to show up in a way to where people, like, they see that picture and they say, I want that home. But more importantly, that when they show up to that home, what they saw in the picture is what appears at the home.
Yeah.
You know, from experience, you know, people, like, they Photoshop these pictures and
Yes.
then they go into the property and they're like, what the heck am I looking at?
Exactly.
Selling point on the presentation.
Too, you know, it is adding one step, but it is removing many others. You know, and everybody is so busy right now, and aligning schedules can get so difficult, and people have all these, you know, different times where they can get stuff done. And so it really allows, and it puts power back in the hands of the seller to get this done at their convenience. And it liberates the realtors from taking time away from their families. They work every evening almost, it seems like. And, you know, I know there's a lot of single women who are realtors because it's one of the, you know, best jobs they can have while they're raising their children. And I have just seen, you know, them work themselves to death to try to provide. And, you know, I really hope that this system, it really is my heartbeat to help and to free up some of that time so you have time with your families. So adding this additional step really eliminates several more, and
Well,
that's the empowering thing.
you know, she mentioned Kathy, our dear friend.
Oh, that's Kathy, good Lord. Yeah.
I was sitting over laughing because I wasn't going to give it to her. But Kathy, like 28 years, she said on average I spend 10 hours per listing getting that to the place where we schedule pictures. 10 hours. Back and forth, them taking pictures, emails back and forth, do this, change that, do this. I had to go to the house once or twice. She goes, I freaking love you guys. She goes, I send the email you created, and then based upon the size of the house, I schedule pictures within 7 to 14 days. Send one email, schedule pictures. I send the email, do what this lady says. She's the best in the world at it. I'm scheduling your pictures in 10 days. She goes, that's it. That's how easy this is.
And she markets it like I'm a part of her team. She uses one of the pictures. She does her marketing, and you know, I'm not just a program. I'm a real person who is a part of her team, and I think that that's a brilliant way to go about it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so within your program, you know, I see that you have, you know, you're using the Chadi platform, which is an excellent platform, and you know, there's all the videos and everything's organized and stuff like that. If an agent is a part of your program and has, like, do you offer like additional support outside the videos? Is there like a private community or anything else that comes in terms of training outside of just getting the video platform?
Well, like she said, through her social media, she gives a lot of information, plus the agent resource page that I showed when we did the screen share. We're continually adding more and more resources there. Obviously, they can always reach out through email, and we try to respond immediately. I've had 2 agents that I called personally just the other day, and they were blown away that I called them within 5 minutes of the email hitting my phone. I keep all the notifications on because we want this to get out there. We want to educate them that there's never been a tool like this in the industry. There's never been anything like this to help with occupied listings. So it's a matter of time before it's everywhere, just like signs in the yard. It's going to happen. So the faster they adopt this and get it into their market, you know, we just launched, you know, we did a soft launch with a few friends, like she said, a year ago, but we really just launched this year. We're already in 9 states. This thing is really taken off like faster than the virus from China. Come on, somebody.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just saying, it is happening. So yeah, but we're absolutely there to help them in every way we can. And that's why we want people to get creative, push us to say, I thought of using it this way. Do you think that's possible? And we're saying, absolutely. We have them right now. They love it so much. They're saying, will you create a version of this for a buyer so that when my buyer buys a house, I can give a closing gift to them, which is a version that helps them set up their new house. So we're like, well, we didn't ever thought of that. So absolutely, we're here to help.
But I will, just real quick, there hasn't been a whole lot of questions. And I think that speaks to the integrity of the system, is that we really did try to think of everything. I mean, we've had a lady, like the graphic wouldn't download right or something. That was just a setting on her computer, you know, not necessarily, but we answered her question. So, you know, that makes me very proud that, you know, there hasn't been a lot of lingering questions because we really are trying to cover it all.
Awesome. Well, hey, just, you know, first of all, thank you very much for, you know, coming on board today and, you know, giving all these insights and strategies to all the amazing agents inside of this industry.
I mean, come on, man. You are the go-to man for the listing agents. So we had to come hang out with you.
Thank you.
If anything, follow me on Instagram. There's a lot of information there. Follow us there, you know, engage with us. If there's something that you need help with, we're here.
For sure. And if you could, I'll link all your pages and Instagram and social media and everything in the show notes, so people can just go to the show notes and download them and all that good stuff. Look, thank you guys very, very much. I'd love to, I'm personally, now that I had this exposure, I'm personally going to invite you guys to come in and speak to my private clients inside of my listings on demand training. And that's a group like very high caliber top listing agents from all over the country, because I think this is going to benefit them. And I think this is a great addition to the system that I've already developed to help agents become top listing agents. So I think you guys are on the right track to just totally make a lot of noise in the real estate industry. I think this has been needed for a long time. How about the people that are listening to this podcast right now or watching the video? Is there like anything we can pass on to them? Can you like invent the code right now and then just go to the job?
Yeah. Let's see. What do we want to say? Well, let's do. You want to give? What you want to give? 5% off? No, 10%. We want 15%
He's
off.
such a salesman in need. Great.
Tell you what, we'll do a 15% discount because we really want them to see the power of it, and we'll just say we'll do listing because that's what we all want more of. Listing 15. They can put that in, and that'll knock 15% off. And you know what the cool part is? That's forever.
All right.
Forever. And here's the one last thing I want to make sure they understand. This is for unlimited uses.
Yeah.
They do this. We don't. This isn't per listing or anything. This isn't like a gym membership. We ain't trying to get nobody. This is a really affordable way to help them grow their business, and it'll be locked in forever.
Love it. All right. So listing 15 is the coupon code. The website is getyourhousemarketready.com, and we'll link everything in the show notes. Thank you guys very much, and I look forward to having you guys on with me again as we create more success stories and we can come back and talk about it. Fair enough?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah.
You guys rock.